Deep within a cold molecular cloud, a region slightly denser than its surroundings exerts a stronger gravitational pull. It begins to gather nearby particles, triggering a snowball effect that causes the entire cloud to contract. As the mass falls inward, it generates heat. This creates a push and pull between the inward crush of gravity and the outward push of thermal pressure. While this collapse looks chaotic, the interactions are governed by equations that balance pressure, temperature, and angular momentum. When these equations balance, the contraction halts and hydrogen fusion ignites. This order is a direct consequence of the structure of three-dimensional space. The inverse square law dictates that if the distance between two masses doubles, the force between them drops to exactly 1/4. In 4 dimensions, this relationship would shift to an inverse cube law, making stable planetary orbits impossible. The resulting light is mathematics embodied in plasma. In 1960, physicist Eugene Wigner observed that the effectiveness of mathematics in the natural sciences borders on the mysterious. He noted that abstract mathematical structures, developed in the mind without any regard for the physical world, often match the behavior of matter to several decimal places. This creates an intellectual shock. It forces a choice between nominalism, the idea that math is a language we invented to describe patterns, and Platonism, which suggests we are discovering a code that existed long before us. If an abstract formula can predict the existence of a particle before an experiment ever finds it, the universe possesses an intrinsic code. In physics, symmetry is a technical term for invariance. It describes a situation where the laws of nature remain identical even if you shift the time, location, or direction of an experiment. In 1915, mathematician Emmy Noether proved that these symmetries are the direct cause of physical conservation laws. Noether's theorem demonstrates that because physical laws are the same at all times, energy is conserved. Because the laws are the same at all locations, momentum is conserved. Energy and momentum are the shadows cast by mathematical invariance. The laws of motion are not arbitrary. They are the necessary consequences of a deeper architectural symmetry. This architecture relies on a few fundamental constants, fixed numbers that do not vary across space or time. The cosmological constant, or lambda, represents the density of energy in empty space. Lambda is a value on the order of 10 to the negative 122 in Planck units. If this number were fractionally higher, the universe would have expanded too quickly for stars to ever form. If it were negative and larger in magnitude, the cosmos would have collapsed back on itself almost immediately. The anthropic principle suggests we only observe these narrow values because our existence acts as a filter. We only find ourselves in a universe compatible with observers because we are here to observe it. However, the sensitivity of these numbers remains. Small shifts in the constants of the universe would result in a radically different, likely lifeless cosmos. Cosmologist Max Tegmark proposes a hypothesis that attempts to resolve this alignment between math and reality. Tegmark argues that the physical world is a mathematical structure. In this view, mathematics does not merely describe the world. Mathematics is the substance of the world. This implies that every feature of our existence, from the curvature of spacetime to human consciousness, is an expression of a relational system defined by equations. Under this framework, humans are nodes within a complex mathematical object, experiencing the internal logic of the structure from the inside. If the universe is a mathematical structure, can we eventually write down its complete final codebook? At the start of the 20th century, David Hilbert proposed a plan to formalize all of mathematics into a perfectly complete and consistent system. He believed every truth could be derived from a single set of axioms. In 1931, logician Kurt Gödel demonstrated that Hilbert's goal was mathematically impossible. Gödel's incompleteness theorems proved that any sufficiently powerful formal system cannot be both complete and consistent. Within any such system, there will always be statements that are true, but can never be proven using that system's own rules. Formal logic cannot exhaust the landscape of truth. No matter how many axioms we add, the boundary of what is provable never closes. Gödel's discovery reveals that a perfectly closed codebook of reality is a structural impossibility. truth outruns proof. We operate from within the system, using symbols and equations to map the architecture around us, yet we are unable to fully step outside, to certify the ground on which it rests. The universe is beautifully intelligible, yielding its secrets to our equations, yet the foundations of that intelligibility remain an open-ended mystery.
Thank you for watching. If something in this resonated with you, then you're already closer than you think. If you're ready to go deeper, there's a link below to my book, The Geometry of God: Mathematics, Consciousness, and the Architecture of Reality. This isn't theory, it's a framework you can actually use. Tap the link below and step into it.